Hello guys and welcome, it is ThatSrb2DUDE here today, bringing you yet another Splatoon 2 video. Now today we are going to be going through the third episode of what main power-up does to all the weapons in the game. This is going to be the Charger installment, and the first weapon that we're going through is the Squiffer. The Squiffer gets extended range depending on how much main power-up you do put onto this weapon. I honestly find this extremely helpful as it makes it much easier to actually reach out for your targets. But when putting main power-up onto this weapon, you may want to invest in a little bit more. Considering with the Squiffer, there isn't really any right or wrong option in what you include in terms of gear, because for me, usually I just invest for the special if I was to use the Squiffer. But definitely investing in a lot of main power-up will definitely help the Squiffer out to reach out to opponents from further ranges. The effects of main power-up when you're using the Splat charger is that it gets increased damage. Now luckily the Splatoon devs were careful with this. They didn't make it so that you can get 100% damage before you get a full charge. It only applies for charges that are lower than a full charge, of course. Now you may think to yourself, what's the point of that? Is it just a thing that you can hit enemies that are weaker than normal? That statement wouldn't be incorrect, but there are definitely other things that help the Splat charger when using main power up. One thing for sure is that putting on off main power up, let's say 2 mains, 1 sub, if you were to do less than a quarter of a charge, you could possibly go for a 2 hit. If you've ever used a Splat charger before and gone up against opponents that, I guess, come very close to you, then you definitely notice that good chargers tend to go for this instead of going for their normal full charge. Applying main power up to a Splat charger like this will only make it easier for those types of charges. It also seems that main power up will allow you to take out an opponent that is submerged in ink that is also wearing ink resistance. This is also the case if the player has ink armor on while they're also wearing ink resistance. I did a video on this a long while back that you can check in the description, but basically what I'm trying to say is that as little as 1 sub can counter all of this. For the Elite of 4K, when wearing main power up, it allows you to have extended range. Unfortunately, in my opinion, it is very underwhelming, as you have to probably stack maybe 3 mains of main power up to even make it worthwhile. But even then, it doesn't even feel like that much. It may be a little bit more worth it if you use the scoped variant of the Elite of 4K, as you do have 5% more range while using a scope. Even then, the effects are the same for scoped or non-scoped. The Elite of 4K can perform really well regardless of what gear you do put onto it. Meaning that stacking a huge bunch of main power up onto it, maybe 3 mains or more, just to make sure that the range reaches further than usual, is probably at the end of the day a good investment. To pair with this, I would suggest to have maybe some ink saver main or efficiency perks to just further support the Eliter. Now, probably out of all the charger weapons in this video, I'm gonna have to say the Bamboozler probably benefits off main power up the most. The reason being because when using no main power up on the Bamboozler, a tap shot is 30 damage. But putting at least 2 mains and 1 sub of main power up for a Bamboozler, a tap shot is 33.6, meaning that you can now do a 3 shot just by tap shots instead of doing a 4 shot. Now, the Bamboozler in general charges up very fast. And while using this amount of main power up, just less than half of a charge can do up to 50 damage. Now, of course, the Bamboozler is primarily a 2-shot kill weapon. And of course, you can't get 100% damage with a full charge. So with this being a thing, and the Bamboozler, of course, with a tap shot, shoots to its furthest range all the time, you can 2-shot people at just under a half of a charge all the time when using main power up, thus making the Bamboozler much more scary if the player can aim well with it. And lastly, we have the GooTuber, which also really benefits from main power up. Now, knowing that the GooTuber can do 100% damage at 70% charge, using main power up will only make this even better, meaning you can do 100% at even less of a charge. I believe if you were to max out main power up, you could potentially do 100% damage at 55% of a charge, which is either the same or even quicker than a Squiffer's full charge. Highly unlikely that you'd use max main power up for a GooTuber. So personally, I would suggest either 2 mains, 1 sub, or slightly more. Now, that is pretty much what main power up does to all chargers in the game. Now, honestly, I think the best ones are for the Splat charger, the Bamboozler, and the GooTuber. Why I say Splat charge? Because 1 sub of main power up can basically take out an opponent that is wearing ink armor and they have taken damage previously before that, or if they are standing in your own ink. The Bamboozler is kind of obvious because you're turning a weapon into a 4-shot into a 3-shot, so of course this is going to be better. And lastly, of course, the GooTuber, mainly because you are able to kill things a lot faster, and in a way it allows you to deal with things that are a little bit more close range to you, considering it only takes so much amount of charge in order for you to get 100% damage. With all that being said, however, that is pretty much gonna be the video for this. I hope you guys are informed and learned a couple things about main power up and splat charges in general. And yeah, this is pretty much all I've got to say. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please, if you did, please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, both in the description below. Do it for both of you for feeling generous. And as always, guys, this has been ThatSrb2DUDE, and I shall see you guys in a future video.